Since his death in 1944, Pittsfield native Eugene Kalinowski has been known as one of thousands who made the ultimate sacrifice during World War II. The story of a plane crash and his subsequent death has been passed down through the surviving members of his family. But earlier this year, it was discovered that the last moments of Kalinowski's life were far different than both his country and his family had been led to believe. Connecting Point's Ross Lipman tells us the true story of his final mission and how it's brought together two people wanting to keep his memory alive.
This cold makes my eyes water.
Every December, just before the holidays, Carol Brooks comes to the Pittsfield Cemetery to decorate the graves of family she's lost.
Well, when you lose a child, it's very difficult.
Some gone much too young, like her daughter, Kristen.
She was 4.5, but she ended up having a heart attack.
Then there's her grandfather, Vasily Kalinowski.
He was a good grandfather, very close with us.
Carol could spend all day
My father, my mother.
in the cold.
She was a wonderful mom, wonderful. My sister Ann, she was 6 years older than myself.
Telling stories about each person.
They're at peace. That's the main thing.
But today she's here to visit a relative she didn't know.
Just always thought of him as being our uncle that was killed in the plane crash.
His story.
3, 2, 1.
The story of what really happened to Army Air Force Staff Sergeant Eugene Kalinowski may be the greatest story she can tell.
He was only 24 when he died.
On October 15th, 1944, Gene was on his 50th and final mission when his plane was shot down by Nazi German forces. Initial reports said that of the 10-man crew, 2 died while evacuating the plane, including Kalinowski.
For years, the belief in the story had been that the plane was shot down and that's how he died, correct?
Right. That's how I understood it. You know, that's how I was always told. And I think that's how they thought of it too.
But Gene, in fact, survived the landing and was discovered by SS soldiers near the German village of Laubenheim. Carol only learned of how her uncle truly died just a few years ago.
After he had landed and they were taking him to some type of a holding place, he was shot by a German soldier, a SS soldier.
So he dies serving during World War II.
Right.
The story for years and years and years is that the plane was shot down, the plane crashes, he dies during the plane crash.
Yeah.
And then you find out that an SS officer, in fact, killed your uncle. What was that immediate sort of gut feeling you had?
I couldn't really believe it. I didn't know if it was true.
It was true. Gene's assassination was witnessed by residents in Laubenheim, and in the years following the war, they haven't forgotten, including this past fall, 76 years later, when Carol learned of plans to create a memorial for Gene. It was around the same time that Carol learned the truth behind Gene's death that she was contacted by someone in Germany. His name is Joachim Hennig. He wanted to learn more about Gene's life and make sure the real story was known. And just as Joachim found Carol,
you want to tap that to turn your camera on.
we wanted to find him.
Hi.
Hi.
Today's the day, huh?
Today's the day.
And give two people who aren't so used to Zoom or video chatting
He'll turn his camera on in a minute.
a chance to meet face to face.
There he is.
Joachim.
Ja, hallo.
Hello.
Nice to meet you.
Alles
Well, I take it you two know each other. Joachim, Carol, Carol, Joachim.
we haven't seen us
No,
live.
not live. It's nice to see a face that I've been talking to for a while.
How long have the two of you been emailing with each other before today?
Since 2016. I told him I was a baby when my uncle left for Germany, and that he had taken my baby shoes and put them around his neck for good luck. So I've always kind of felt a bond to him that way.
You think that it is important that this story
live on, correct?
I think it's very important because we must learn from our history, learning for the future from the past. And we must learn what had happened and that this never may happen again.
I look forward to seeing how your relationship grows from here as well. I think it's very exciting.
Like I said, I have friends. I have a friend in Germany.
Me too. Me too.
Right.
And the whole family too. The whole family too.
The whole family. Oh, okay.